got the answers. I change the question.
Rep screws rep.
Yeah.
Woo!
Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Did he do it?
Too hot to handle and too cold to hold. And I am Macho King Savage.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. I said WWE stands for... It's me, Austin. I will never retire.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, yo, Fro Wrestling Podcast listeners, welcome to the show where we don't sing it, we bring it. Help us out and click subscribe to show your support. Are you sick and tired of dropping $60 to $100 for the latest and greatest wrestling video game? Stop immediately. Go to Wrestler Unstoppable, available exclusively through Facebook. Create a wrestler, get into storylines, headline PLEs, build your own company, ground up, all included in Wrestler Unstoppable, available now to all Facebook users, totally free. If you want to become a member of the Pro Wrestling Podcast family, you want your name in the shoutouts like my good buddy John in Texas, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Pro Wrestling Podcast. Sign up today. Loyalty rewards, $15 a month contributor, co-host a show with me, $7.50 a month, entered into a drawing to do the same. And if you're like my good buddy John down in Texas, we're going to be putting together some really exclusive Patreon-only content coming soon. Look out for that if you are a Patreon member. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Pro Wrestling Podcast. If you've got questions, comments, something you want us to touch on in the future episode, drop us a line at the Pro Wrestling Sound Off line 267-642-1160, and we will get to those questions, comments, and concerns in a future episode. A lot of things going on in the wrestling world. We're going to get to them relatively quickly tonight. One, gotta go there. Absolutely loving the fact that SiriusXM Satellite Radio now has a 24/7 all professional wrestling channel. Wrestling Nation 156 used to be Fight Nation. Kicked all the UFC stuff to the side. No offense to UFC, but they could have their own channel. And now, courtesy of Dave LaGreca and all the guys over at Busted Open doing the great job that they've been doing, they are putting together a 24/7 hit list of shows. Sam Roberts was on the other day. They're just great stuff, top to bottom, every second of the day. Every time I'm in the car or wherever, I can turn that on, and I've always got my go-to pro wrestling programming. I actually found it interesting to see that they had Coach on there with Nick Nemeth the other day. Shocking, because a lot of times we'll hear the guys on Busted Open poke fun at Jonathan Coachman's reporting, because he's often way off mark with a lot of his predictions and things. But love it for the channel, love it for the fans, love it for LaGreca, for everything he's built from the ground up. That guy has been working for so long to make Busted Open what it is today, and he deserves all the kudos in the world. If you are not listening to Busted Open Radio, do that, channel 156 on SiriusXM. You're missing out if you're not. Going to get into the conversation about SmackDown. We're going to react to that tonight and a few other things from the news. First off, let's get to SmackDown. The show kicked off with a conversation from Cody Rhodes that quickly led to a back and forth with Randy Orton. I actually thought that the way Randy Orton left Night of Champions, looking back at Cody Rhodes, we were going to see a heel turn relatively quickly. I would not be surprised if at some point before SummerSlam, if Randy Orton did turn heel and attack Cody, taking him out of SummerSlam's main event. Not because I don't think they need to do the match. I think it all depends on whether or not you're turning Cody heel. There's a lot of conversation right now about Cody and John Cena doing a double switch, a double turn. That has to wait for the end of the year. If it's me booking it, I would have Randy Orton pull off some conventional legend killer type tactics, take out Cody Rhodes ahead of the pay-per-view so he doesn't get the championship opportunity there. Let somebody else slip in. I don't even care if it's Randy Orton again or a different competitor or CM Punk against somebody. other than Cody and save that for December at the Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view. Do the double switch there, flip Cody, flip Cena, let him ride off into the sunset after losing to Cody in an honorable way. I did hear some people debating other people who could be the last opponent for John Cena to be the guy who takes the championship from him or whatever. I've heard suggestions for Braun Breaker. I've heard conversations about Jey Uso, Sami Zayn. To me, Cody Rhodes is the one who's got the storyline built in. He didn't sell his soul to The Rock at the beginning of the year. Maybe in December he can flip on Cena, take the title, let Cena become the babyface again, and end his career on a high note. Don't know. The other option would be for Cena to lose the title here and regain it again. Heck with going for number 17, go to number 18. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But this was great conjecture back and forth. Drew McIntyre returns, comes out, gets in between, throwing shade at Randy Orton for the change in his character in the last few months and whatnot, and leads to an RKO out of nowhere, which we find out later will lead to a match at Saturday night's main event between Orton and McIntyre. Love the idea for the match. I'm all in for the match. I just wish it was a SummerSlam match. I feel like we're loading up Saturday night's main event because of All In Texas, which is not the right reason to do it. And we're rushing some of these incredible matches. We already know we're going to get the Seth Rollins and LA Knight match. That could have been a PLE match. A little surprised they're doing all this on free TV for Saturday night's main event, but they are getting paid some bucks for that as well, so we'll have to wait and see how that stuff plays out. After that, we had the tag team match, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss versus the Secret Hervis versus Michin and BFAB, triple threat match for the Women's Tag Team Championship shot at Evolution. Hate this. Not because I don't like the teams involved, but because it's very clear from the onset that Flair and Bliss were winning. I hate that. I'm tired of seeing matches where I have no reason to believe that anybody but the biggest stars are going to win. The only way Charlotte and Alexa didn't win this is if they were going to somehow interact with each other and get in a fight to each other. And that's not happening. It's too soon. So, didn't like this at all. Of course, Flair and Bliss go on and will be at Evolution. Kind of weird at the end seeing the hugging situation, but I guess that works into whatever it is they're trying to tell. We saw the Wyatt Six defeat Montez Ford, Johnny Gargano, Berto, and Chris Sabin. Talk about a weird 8-man tag team match. I like what they're doing right now, honestly, with the Wyatt Six. I actually love the part where Gargano came in the ring talking to Dexter Lumis and trying to, shift his thought process. I thought that was really great throwback to their NXT days. But Wyatt Six starting to pick up some momentum. I think that needs to be a tag team championship win in the near future. We get to Tiffany Stratton after that, coming out, talking about Jade Cargill at SummerSlam, talking about wanting to defend her championship at Evolution. If you listen to my show previously, we already had the spoilers for this episode, so we already know Trish Stratus, she brought her to SmackDown to offer her the opportunity at Evolution. It's great to see the two of them get in the ring. They were a team earlier in the year. This will be great to see them get physical. Trish Stratus mentioned how her kids have never seen her be a champion. They've seen her wrestle, but never seen her be a champion. I actually don't care. I don't care who wins this match. I would not be opposed to Naomi cashing in and facing Cargill at SummerSlam as champion. We don't have to wait all that time for Cargill to win and then have Naomi cash in on her. You could do it the other way. Naomi could cash in here and then face Cargill, guaranteeing the opportunity to get her hands on Cargill. I don't really care how they do it, but it should be a great match either way. We have Rey Fenix and Andrade versus Nathan Frazier and Axiom. And I'll be honest with you, I was not a fan of the Andrade-Rey Fenix pairing because I really wanted to see Lucha Bros back together, but they are actually gelling really well. This was a great match. Kind of surprised to see them defeat Fraxium. With all the hype of Fraxium coming in and all the success they had when they first got to the main roster, I really didn't expect to see this almost makeshift team be able to take them out so easily. But again, great match, great action. It's the best that I've seen Andrade look in quite a long time, so great for them. We have Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo. I have a problem with this match, and the problem is not enough interference throughout the match from Talaloa. I'm sorry, you bring the guy in, Talatanga, I'm sorry, former Hikuleo. You bring him in at the pay-per-view and make all this to-do about it. You had to have him involved before the end of the match. At the end of the day, there's no reason that Jacob and Jimmy should have beat Solo this early after winning the United States Championship. It makes the win look hollow. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So for me, I thought the wrong team won here. I thought that we should have had Talatanga out there the whole match. have him get involved, have him interfere, and lead to something. This is a match. It would have been great for Saturday Night's Main Event for when they finally get the win. I would not have done it on SmackDown. I just didn't like the way it works, and obviously somebody's going to have to pick up a third for Jacob Fatu's side of things, but I don't know who that third's going to be. I really don't, unless you're going to bring in Zilla Fatu. I mean, I guess that's a possibility, but I don't love it. I'm just being honest. And that wraps up our SmackDown reactions. I hope, after doing the spoilers on the previous episode, I hope you guys understand, when they record an episode, it's really hard. Everybody online reads all the spoilers and they know who wins and loses and whatnot. But that's one thing to read those spoilers, another thing to actually see the action take place on television. I hope you enjoyed SmackDown this week. If it were me, a couple things I might have changed, but I actually thought the show as a whole was pretty solid, just my opinion. Moving on into other things related to the wrestling world, former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Isla Dawn is now expected to sign with All Elite Wrestling. They've had conversations about where some of these people who were released were going to go. We know Shotzi ended up going to MLW. We know Indy Hartwell went to TNA. Well, according to WrestleVotes Radio, Isla Dawn was at All Elite Wrestling's television taping and had a conversation about them being interested in her. So hopefully it sounds like she's going to find herself in a new home. I just hope that she gets the opportunity. Doesn't become just another person out there. Like, I feel like we have, Toni Storm, we have Mercedes Moné, and then a whole bunch of, the same. You know what I mean? Maybe you get a little more out of Willow Nightingale, a little more out of Statlander here and there, but they really need to beef up the women's division. They even need to give Thunder Rosa more prime time because she's money. And for some reason, there are women there, they seem to get there and then they fizzle. I'm hoping that doesn't happen to Isla Dawn because I think she's actually untapped potential. She's a great professional wrestler. Conversation this week about the backstage report about AJ Styles' WWE contract status. It should have run out already. It did not. The theory is he signed a one-year contract extension. We don't know when he would have signed that, when it will expire, but he did say back in 2022 it was going to be his last contract, a multi-year deal with WWE, and that was going to be his last contract. I'm sure he will have an opportunity to do anything he wants with WWE once he wraps up his in-ring career, but what's shocking to me is the fact that he has been in his best form ever lately. I mean, he looks like he's 20 years younger recently, and his body is in the best shape I've ever seen it. So it's actually pretty exciting to see him wrestle now. I just wish they were doing more with him on a week-to-week basis on television. Hopefully he wins that Intercontinental Championship from Dominic Mysterio. We'll see where that goes. I saw somebody hypothesize if he wins the championship from Dominic, he and John Cena could roll it back, and Cena could win the Intercontinental Championship and finally become a Grand Slam champion, something he's never done. Backstage update on the launch of NXT Europe. A lot of people have been wondering what's going on with this. Conversation with Fightful Select. Fightful was talking to various promoters overseas in Europe, and they are operating under the assumption that it is still coming and something they're going to have to focus on. They're not happy about it because they're afraid that many of their premium talents are going to leave and go to the NXT European brand. But WWE is and TKO in general, is on this mission in the wrestling world to kind of take over the world, purchasing AAA, partnering with TNA, doing things with Bloodsport and other locations. It's a beautiful thing. I would love to see them buy Pro Wrestling Noah or All Japan Pro Wrestling and just keep expanding, not because I think they need to be a monopoly, but because they do it better than anybody. If they really cultivate these relationships and really grow all of these markets to be a part of that big umbrella company, it could be something special. So hopefully they find a way to integrate that. But I don't want to see it destroy the international scene either, because that would be terrible for all those talents up and coming, trying to cut their teeth somewhere, and you want to see that continue. And WWE coming in and just taking everybody can totally destroy their opportunity for development, because those young guys need to work with some established stars to be able to gain the experience necessary to be the next wave of excellent professional wrestling talent. And that doesn't happen if we rush them to the main roster, all the great guys in the whole scene, and leave inexperienced people behind to train the next group of guys coming up. So you have to wait and see how that all shakes out. Rumor has it maybe by the end of this year we see NXT Europe, or an announcement about NXT Europe coming soon. And last tidbit tonight, former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Hiroki Goto recently lost the championship back to Zack Sabre Jr., his second run with the title. He has been forced to withdraw from the 2025 New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax. If you don't know what the G1 is, it's very similar to the Continental Classic in AEW. In my opinion, it is much, much better. block style, round robin tournament style action in the early part, leading to a match at the end, which leads to a World Championship opportunity at Wrestle Kingdom. But Goto, apparently the injury that forced him to lose the World Championship to Sabre Jr. is legit, and he is not going to be able to perform at the G1, which is kind of a shame, because it was great to see him after all these years finally get that New Japan Pro Wrestling World Championship opportunity, and have to give it up due to injury is always a sad situation. That's all the time we have for this episode. Check back with us next episode where we run down the latest wrestling news and rumors. Special thanks as always goes out to Suno for creating the music and sound effects I use in the show. Today's podcast sponsored in part by Beazle Games. Bring a new friend to family game night. It's easy with Sketchy people. Showcase your artistic side in this game from Beazle Games by going to thegamecrafter.com and pick up your copy today. If you're looking for your next career move, you're considering college or university life, maybe you just need some formal training for your next career decision, go to our website at frolifeplanning.com for all your higher education needs, as Fro Life Educational Planning is for today, for tomorrow, and for life with Fro Life. I'm Fred Froelich, better known as Dr. Fro. I want to thank you so much for taking some time with us tonight. Until next time, take care. Everybody, have a great night.
Wrestling Podcast.